Sandra Sandini here. I just wanted to touch base real quickly about my membership. It's Empowering the Healer Within. We meet via Zoom 3 times a month. One of these is a book oracle. The rest are questions about different spiritual topics, including meditations and readings. The 8-day Meet My Guides, Day 7 Health Guide. Notice what's on the plain tail behind me on this photo. This was in 2016 when I broke my pelvis. So I've gotten pretty intimate with my health guides. I've got a group of health guides, and I effectively pop in and talk to them. Well, definitely more frequently in the past, not so much now, but I definitely do use them. So let's step into this beautiful mantra first. Taking a nice breath. I align myself this day with my higher self. For the highest good and the greatest good of all. And so we'll start to speak about health. This is what I looked up in the dictionary, and I found it very interesting. I did add a line in here because the very first thing that came up in the dictionary was the condition of being sound in mind, body, or soul. And I love that because I frequently use that exact phrase, mind, body, or soul. So the mind, body, or soul is the me, myself, and I as well. So stepping into the energy of being in a sound position in those. And I thought that was really interesting on another aspect, because how many of us are in this condition, or I guess I'm implying that there's a condition. It's the condition of being sound in mind, body, or soul. So how many of us are in the condition of being sound in our mind, body, and soul on a day-to-day basis? I know that we do a lot of roller coastering throughout our life, throughout our day sometimes, and just being aware of the health around that and how that does create some dis-ease in our body. So it's the general condition of the body, and it's a condition in which someone or something is thriving or doing well. Of course, if you put a different word in front of health, such as poor health or ailing health, then you'll understand what type of health you're actually in, or the person is in as well. So I really wanted to state about understanding the state of our society. When someone asks how you are doing, truly, it really became evident to me through my injuries how society actually was around that question. For myself, when I ask that question of a person, I have a vested interest. I would love to know how you're feeling. I would love to know if, something as simple as a hug, or something as simple as being here and asking you how your health is going to help you. For the most part, when you hear people asking, how are you doing? They usually are already on their way past you without even stopping to listen to what you are going to say. So really understanding how our entire societies are part of our problem. We really, this is all about that relationships guide again too, yesterday, that we dealt with, or not dealt with, that we met. And really, when it came down to it, it was understanding how we were with ourself, with that self-love. So when we step into that self-love for ourselves, then we begin to care that much more about the people around us, and they begin to care more about us as well, because of how much we are caring about ourselves. So this part about this understanding the state of society is a really very evident glimpse at just how the general populace cares about themselves, or at what level they care about themselves. I mean, there are people out there who are very much about the me, but in a different way, rather than about the how much I care about loving myself, instead of the, man, this is always happening to me, I'm so woe begotten, etc., etc. So just really stepping into the energy of starting to recognize how that is going around, the energy of that is going around. The word dis-ease and health almost go hand in hand. As I had mentioned, when we have our health, if we have stress going on, anxiety going on, and this kind of thing, then that a sense of dis-ease is happening within our body, within our soul. And within our physical body, actually more so than our soul, because our soul is separate, our higher self is watching. So just really stepping into that understanding of how our personal health is affecting this dis-ease within our body, okay? And speaking yourself into health with the I am mantras, as well as more specific requests or affirmations. So I'm going to talk about that real quickly, and then I'm going to ask you guys if you have any questions around this, because I think it's really important stuff to be speaking about. And I'm just checking the chat. So I'm just seeing the chat there, and I just wanted to touch base real quickly about that. The membership is at 10 a.m. Mountain. It's noon Eastern. It's 11 Central, and it's 9 a.m. Pacific on Thursday mornings. And there will be times when it is different later in the day or in the evening, but most often it'll be first thing in the morning or later in the evening, just because I have my own personal things that I love to do in the afternoons, which is doing things with my husband and our mountain biking. So thank you for your patience with that. So I wanted to speak about the speaking yourself into health with the I am mantras, as well as more specific requests or affirmations. So there are times when we have different things going on in our body, depending on what we're doing, what's going on in our life. Some of those things may be a cold, some of them might be urinary tract infections or kidney infections and these sort of things. So when we step into, first of all, recognizing that we have a cold, a flu, or a urinary tract infection or something like this, seeking medical advice is definitely something you should do for sure if you have medical issues going on, because we do want to rule out anything that's going on that can be helped that way. However, from personal experience of having many UTIs, going to the point of having kidney infections, and going for blood tests, going for urine samples, going for MRIs and ultrasounds, and discovering that, yes, I could take a pill, and in most cases was taking a pill, that there was no conceivable reason why I continued to keep having these infections and stuff. So I literally would sit and speak my body into health. So what I mean by speaking my body into health is that I would talk to my body saying that my entire kidney was pink and healthy and working energetically properly, that my bladder was working beautifully. And honestly, I would sit there 2, 3, 4 times a day and say these words and talk my body back into health. And ever since I did that, like I spent 1 year where it was ridiculous how many UTIs I was getting, to the point where I was getting really bad kidney infections. And when I started to talk my body into health around that whole area, the urinary tract, the bladder, the kidney, all of that area, when I started to speak my health into it in a positive manner, I literally changed how that entire system was reacting to whatever was going on around me and the energies. It was my guides really starting to help me to move forward into better health. And I haven't had any UTIs or kidney infections for 2 years now because of speaking my body into health. So we had a really great example the other day with Sharon when she was talking about her health and how she was switching. When she got ill, she would talk her body into health. Sharon, can you just tell us briefly about that so that we have that confirmation of that again, please? You'll have to unmute yourself.
I don't think that was me.
It wasn't you? I thought.
No,
Okay, I thought it was you that was speaking about how you were how when you have a flu or something, the light energy
No,
goes through you. Okay, was it somebody
Yeah.
else on the call? Does anybody remember who that was? Thanks, Sharon. Okay, if it wasn't anybody on this call, my apologies. I really thought it was on this call. Okay. Anyway, does anybody have any questions around this before we move on? Because if anybody has any specific issues right now, I would love for you to understand how to use this speaking to your body into better health. Go ahead, Viorica.
Yeah, which mantra are you using or how are you doing?
Okay, so it depends on what is what's going on in your body, for starters. The I am love mantra is going to be huge. Okay, so saying that I am love mantra, that's always the go-to mantra for anything. Okay, then the other one that I use is I am healthy, wealthy, and well. Okay, then you can get very specific. Okay, for instance, when I injured my spleen, I would speak about my spleen being healthy and working well. I am of good health in the spleen area. My blood is flowing freely and easily in the manner that it was designed to, right? And these are just some instances. I am arthritis free. I am fit, agile, and flexible. I am strong and capable and able. So you see how the words that I'm using are very important as well. So I'm not just going strong, because as soon as I think of strong, I think of a rod of iron. But as soon as I say the words capable and able, then it changes the energy to being able to do something, right? Just like I'm flexible, fit, and agile, right? So even though if I just put fit, then yeah, maybe I'm fit. My husband's incredibly fit. Is he flexible? No, not at all. I mean, the man can't touch his toes. So really stepping into all of these words rather than just choosing one word, you're just making it a more rounded mantra. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you asked. Any other questions from anybody else?
So are you doing this just in your morning, or are you whenever you think of it, or are you structured with that?
I love that question. Thank you. I literally write those in my morning pages every single morning. And if I am having a health issue, like a cold or something like that, then at that time I'm getting very specific. And every time my health issue comes to mind during the day, instead of me manifesting it by thinking, oh man, I feel horrible or whatever, then I'll say, you know what, my sinuses are clear and my nasal passages are flowing and the energy is flowing out of me in the best manner that it can. When I was on the bike ride the other day, I had a real wave of nausea, and actually at almost 3 miles, I literally was leaning against a rock, and Paul asked me if I wanted to turn around and go back, and I was like, yeah, I do. But I stood there for a few moments just leaning against this rock, and I literally asked for my body to clear this energy of whatever this was, so that I would be able to continue on. And that was the day we did 25 miles on our bikes. And yet at the mile 3, I honestly thought I had to turn around and go back to the truck. So that's how powerful this is when you start to actively do this. So that's important to understand too, is that I didn't start doing this today and it's working today, right? What it did was I've been working on, of course, the I Am Love mantra for years now. And my body is now very much in tune with how I'm in tune with the energy, so that when I say these things, when I do this mantras and that, the shifting is happening a lot more quickly. So when you guys are starting, if you, depending on where you are on your own journey, um, continue to do the work, because it will happen. It's one of those things where if you say these mantras and you don't feel a shift right this moment or in the next hour or so, that's okay. Give yourself a break and just continue to do the work. Continue to say the mantras. Continue to talk your body into health, because it does work. When I did it with the UTIs and kidney infections, I literally did it every time I sat down on the toilet, because that was a conscious reminder. Because of course, being women, if you're familiar with a UTI, you know that it's painful and et cetera, et cetera. So when I sat down on the toilet, it was very easy for me to consciously think about all of these areas being pink and healthy, right? And it was beautiful. Like it was probably within 2-3 days that I actually felt that I had shifted almost completely out of that energy. Like I felt how much better I was 24 hours later, because I had been doing it every time I sat down on the toilet. Okay. Does that kind of help you a little bit more clearly? Great. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions around that? No. Okay. That's giving us a bunch of different ideas, you know, like with colds, with sinuses, you know, just bringing in the light, always bringing in the light energy. I'm always asking for light energy to come in and help, because I find that the light energy and when I was listening to Time of the Sixth Sun, thank you for guys for asking the questions, because it's brought up a couple other things that I wanted to mention, especially this one. I was listening to Time of the Sixth Sun the other day, and we are a society of that closes doors, okay, instead of opening doors. So when I'm talking about our health and closing doors, instead of acknowledging that we have a health problem in a healthy manner, we continue to manifest it by what we're saying, right? Like, I feel terrible. I am doing this. I am just sicker than a dog, or whatever all these phrases are, right? And I truly am saying these guides right now for the state, for the purpose of teaching, not so that I have these things coming into me. We continually manifest that illness, or we literally ignore it, right? And when we shut that down and close those doors and put it in a little box, then all it's doing is sitting inside of us, festering. And when we have something go on in our life that is stressful, that festering point where we've either had an injury or where we've had an illness just flares up. And I think every one of us can certainly understand that, because of anything that's been going on in our lives. As soon as we get stressed, we feel even that much worse because of some illness or a pain that we've had in an accident, or possibly a surgery, or, you know, that sort of thing. So the best thing that we can do with any kind of illness is acknowledge it. Truly is acknowledge that we have something going on in our body. And at that point, bringing in the light and the understanding, and you know, I often talk to my body saying that, thank you for the recognition of this head cold. I appreciate that I have this head cold, because it makes me appreciate just how much more I feel better when I'm clear-headed. And then starting to talk my body back into health, right? So I acknowledge that I'm ill or that I have a pain. I thank that area for showing me how well I feel when I'm healthy. And then I let go of whatever is going on around that. Another thing you can do too is tap into the energy of what is going on with that. And that's another whole big thing that we could do around that. And I'm going to write that down for in the class, in the Zoom class, because I could go off on a whole tangent instead of doing what we're going to do here. Touching point with health issue. So what I mean by that is I've done some work with one of the You Beautiful Souls on here, and I'll just mention the name because she's so incredible. Maria and I have done work doing Reiki energy, and Colleen, you may find that this is helpful for yourself as well with what you're doing. But the what we do is we go down through the body, and as we're scanning the body and doing the Reiki energy healing, you can find epicenters or pinpoint areas in the body that have energy that is like a ball, or it's like a sticking point. Okay, and at this sticking point, yes, we can heal this energy on this layer in this body. However, there are times when this energy is going deeper than that, either in this lifetime or in a past lifetime. And I've actually, it's really interesting, the hip areas on a woman, or I haven't worked with men in the hip areas, but on a woman, if there's energy points on the hips, and sometimes when I tap into this energy or this epicenter in the hips, it is tied to energy around our mums, and something that has happened between myself and my mom is in the hip area. And it's a really interesting place to go into and start to let that energy disperse so that the person can move through that energy. And that I'll talk a little bit more about in both in my programs and as well as in the membership. But just gives you kind of a brief idea there.
Sandra, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to share with you and the ladies, but Cryon talks about this a lot, about talking to our body, you know, that we can talk it into health, and to really have gratitude for, like, you know, show gratitude to each organ and all the aspects of your body. But the one thing I wanted to share is he also says we have the ability to stop the aging clock by body talk, and not only stop the body, the aging clock, but also reverse it. So I just wanted to share that for those that didn't know that, you know, we also have that ability to reverse our age by just, you know, talking to the body.
Exactly. Actually, every single morning in my morning pages, I write, I am ageless. I see
That's
people grabbing
beautiful.
pen. I am ageless. I am rejuvenating daily. I am immortal. And all of these things, you know what? This is why I really started out the whole 8-day guide thing the way I did, because it was really important for you to get in touch with the higher self and the little you especially, and then each of the guides afterwards. When I talked about connecting with your little you guide, your little you is going to help you to maintain that younger energy and to bring that younger energy back into your life. So really, really touching base with that younger little you as well, okay? Wonderful. Yeah, okay, page. So I have a very hard 10 o'clock that I need to get off of here because of that next class. So I'm going to make this quick here. The health guides, there are a number. MAP, the Medical Assistance Program by Michelle Wright, Michelle Small Wright, and Wright is W-R-I-G-H-T. She wrote this incredible book that calls in the White Brotherhood, and it's this spiritual medical team that is ever shifting depending on what your needs are. So she literally walks you through in this book how to set up your own session with your White Brotherhood, how to develop a password, and then how to use this to help you go through some pretty major stuff. The medical assistance team is who I call in. The White Brotherhood team is who I call in when I have these colossal injuries and big accidents and stuff. And as well as I've called them in when I've had other people that I know have had things happen when I touch base with their higher self, as well as when I ask their permission if I can call these guys in, this team. Also, there's the ancient wisdom that's passed down through our families. There's the well-knowing ones in our lives. We all have those type of people, whether they are truly helpful or not. They mean well. And of course, mothers, friends, and coworkers, as well as so many others that that are guides for us, right? That we can either see how they are acting and make the choice to do things differently, or make the choice to jump on the bandwagon and do something similar, right? I know for myself, my kids, especially my daughter, she will call me in a heartbeat to ask for help when she's having stressful situations, because she knows that the energy that I have, the way that I can walk her through things will help her. So I'm one of her health guides, right? And those are in those anxious, anxiety filled moments. She does go to medical professionals as well. So it's interesting to see how all of these unfold. So the meditation today, I love this picture. This is on in Osoyoos, British Columbia. And this is on the big lake there. And I just was really taken by these beautiful wood sculptures. It just really feels like what I constantly am talking about, that me, myself, and I, the mind, body, and soul, and just really stepping into the energy of that. So having said that, let's go into the meditation. So feeling into the beautiful energy of being in the center of that picture, in the center between those three wooden sculptures. Feel that beautiful energy that's flowing from each one of those, the me, myself, and I. The mind, body, and soul. Feel how these beautiful energetic cords are coming from each one of those wooden structures, and feel the vibrancy and the energy that's coming from each one of those wooden structures. Those were from living trees. Feel the wisdom that's coming through those energetic cords. Be in a place of knowing, accepting, trusting, and believing. And because we're talking about our health, we will connect with our higher self. Our little you as well. And to our right side, there is a portal. Feel how you are walking through that portal into what appears to be like a medical facility, but a medical facility that is warm and inviting and very charismatic. Feel the beautiful energy of this healing facility. Hear the laughter in the background, the joy, the overwhelming sense of love in this beautiful healing facility. And there are 5 doors, beautifully colored doors in front of you. Feel the magic of those 5 colorful doors. They may be one solid color each, or they may be many colors each. And as you're feeling into the energy of those doors, feel how one of them has this beautiful draw to it, meaning that you're feeling like you're almost being pulled gently towards it. And it doesn't matter where it is in this lineup of doors, but just feel how you're being pulled towards this door. And when you grasp that handle, feel how warm it is to the touch, that it creates this beautiful connection, not a spark, but just this beautiful connection where it's just this all-knowing feeling of energy that this is the right door for you. Accept that, trust that, believe that. Mm. And then open the door. Feel how you are either pulling it open or pushing it open. And inside is this beautiful green healing energy. And inside of this beautiful healing green energy, you are being drawn in even further into this room, into this green energy. And this green can come across in whatever manner it wants to. It might be the beautiful neon greens. It could be the green of grass, the green of cedar trees possibly, or palm trees, the green of a cactus, which is even different green. Whatever green it is, just feel into the beautiful green that's there for you. This is a beautiful connection through your heart chakra as well, and nature. Feel the vibrancy of that. And as you are totally immersed in this beautiful green color, this green energy, this green healing energy, this beautiful figure comes out of, like, it comes through it, I guess, through this green towards you. Recognize if there's a gender, male or female, or non-gender. Or if this is, be okay with whatever has come through for you. Feel the magic of this being, this health guide. If this has come through as a specific type of being that you can look up the symbolism of, then feel free to do that once we're done here. Remember what this being looks like, if this is not in human form or something else. And feel the language that is coming from your health guide. That on one level, the human level, this may not be a language that you understand or hear, but on this energetic level, you are very much in tune with this health guide. And you are being asked to just spend some time with this health guide right now. Asking, what is the one thing that you could change today, that you could start today, that would help you move forward in your health? Whatever pops into your mind. If you have water with you, take a drink to allow this energy to flow through you. If you don't have water with you, fine, that you can have a drink afterwards. Know that I am drinking water and that the energy of that flow of water is also happening through your body. You can also ask that, what would the next thing be that you should do to improve your health? And if you have a third question, then feel free to ask this third question as well. It's very interesting how my throat chakra is acting up. These words of wisdom that are coming from your health guide are important words of wisdom. Understand them. They're coming from both this health guide, and because this health guide knows who you are from the core of who you are. Some of the things that we may have been asked are something as simple as water, rest, and diet. And others may have something even more specific that's come through. A laying on of hands is being done through your health guide. So just feel into the energy of where these hands are being laid on you right now. Your health guide has the collective energy for the highest good and for the most benevolent reasons flowing through it. Breathing, making the connection with breath. I am open with no expectations and no limitations. You are very worth asking the questions about your health. Feel the beautiful healing energy coming around your throat chakra. Feeling how the air is flowing in your windpipe. The swallowing is eased. And the freedom is coming in that throat chakra area. There's actually an energy vortex that's clearing that energy out right now. So if you feel the need to cough, just cough away. I am drinking more water to help the flow of all of this for each one of you. Your health guide is also very adamant about letting you know that as you are stepping towards health, you may feel a little bit worse, that you may have symptoms that are flu-like or cold-like. That you're truly clearing out negative pockets of energy within your energetic body while you're working with this health guide. That it is part of the natural evolvement of your physical body into a more energetic state. And now this beautiful health guide is bringing in even more light and is bathing you in this light. Feel the love that's coming through with that. Feel how you feel as though you are on a beautiful altar and you are being tended to in the most loving way. This energy will continue to build and unfold and continue to help your physical body throughout the rest of today until your health guide feels you have reached the maximum potential of this healing at this time. There's a beautiful healing that's occurring, a clearing. And as mentioned, you may feel off for the rest of the day, but just allowing that energy to do what it's doing as it's working its way through. Accepting, trusting, and believing. Your health guide is helping you to stand and is bowing in reverence to you. Feels very honored to be working with you. Give thanks to your health guide. And come back into that beautiful green, green, green. And come back through that incredible colored door. And there's a sign on that door for you that says something along the lines like, always open for business. Always available. feel again the beautiful energy of this medical health facility. The magic of it, the love within its walls. And coming out of that facility, standing back between those three beautiful wooden structures, lakeside. Feeling the beautiful energy that's flowing all around you. How connected you truly are to your higher self and your little you at this time. Knowing that you have the freedom to come back to this spot or using any other entry point to this incredible health facility. To touch base with your health guide. And again, feeling the beautiful energy coming from those three wooden structures. As you come back to the here and now in this beautiful sacred space. And so it is. Wow. I just love this. I love our guides. You know, we are so we're so lucky. We're so lucky to be at a space and a time where we have the ability to do this sort of thing. We truly are. For myself with that, as soon as a figure started to come out of that green, I got this really wispy white kind of image, and then it became this very large white praying mantis, believe it or not. I was just stunned. So that was kind of my experience, just giving you guys just a little inkling of what had happened there. How about yourself, Sheila? Start with you today. Any questions as well?
My door was the color of champagne and all bubbly.
Ooh.
So that's the one I went through. And it was interesting because the person that came through was like an older male, and I had the thought I would prefer a female, and a woman started to come through, and then I went, nope, gotta go with the first one. So is that...
Should you have done it or what? You know what? Tap into the energy.
Why did that happen?
Okay, so what I would guess, no, this isn't a guess. Okay, so just like I was talking about the medical assistance program team, the White Brotherhood, there's a spiritual medical team. So in all likelihood, you probably have more than one health guide, okay? So the one that came through first is ideally the one that wants to be made known to you right away. That other one is definitely there for you to take, to use, to develop a relationship with around other things. Because okay. You're probably very accurate. There's a reason why you're feeling into wanting a woman one. And again, now I mean, we could go into the limiting beliefs, et cetera, and that, but I feel very much more that this male energy, this masculine energy came through because this is what you need right now. Okay. Wonderful. Anything else you'd like
Thank
to
you.
divulge on that, or is that was the big question?
That was my big question,
Okay.
because then I started second guessing myself, not is it right or wrong, but why.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's, it's interesting because when I first saw that white energy coming through for myself, honestly, I thought it was like a white fairy, like a female fairy. And then when it really showed itself, it was the mantis, praying mantis, right? So you had, and this is me believing that this is kind of what you had done. You actually went, oh no, I thought it would be a woman or something like that. Well, as for myself, I just continued to be open. Right. So getting into that, that I am open mantra a little bit more, so that you're just, instead of stopping yourself and asking the question, you just end up being okay with whatever's coming through right off the bat.
Right.
But there was nothing wrong with what you did. It's just really starting to understand how you're working with the energies now. Right. Right on. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
Sheila. Take care. Colleen, how about yourself? Yeah, unmute yourself there. There you go.
Yeah, my door was, it alternates between blue and purple. And the room, so the whole center, there wasn't a corner. It was all like arcs and circles. There's never corners in my visions. And my room, you couldn't even see the walls. It was just a soft light, green light. And she came, it was a woman that came out of the light, but then she turned into an eagle, flew around a bit. And then when she was laying her hands on my chest, she turned back into a woman, but then she turned back. So she was alternating between a woman and an eagle.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, I love
And
that.
so eagle means, I'll have to look it up.
Yes, definitely look up the symbolism. So the way I look up symbolism is I'll literally type the word of what I'm looking for and then go dash symbolism on my search engine. I find that works probably the easiest, because if you just look up eagle, it's going to bring up pictures, it's going to bring up businesses, yada yada yada. But if you write eagle dash symbolism, it'll bring it up a lot more quickly. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Mayarika? Oh, there you go.
My door was stained glass, like in a church, big church, and the head guy was Jesus.
Beautiful.
He placed his hand on my chest and on my back, and I felt so warm of that region of my body. And when I asked him the question, what should I do for my head? He said, drink more water and move your body.
That was mine too, was drink more water.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you for sharing. If you have a question, go ahead.
What's the book that you said for?
The book? It's called MAP, M-A-P. It's a medical assistance program.
Yeah, and the
author?
Yeah, author.
Okay, so it's Michelle, but it's spelled different. So it's M-A-E-C-H-E-L-L-E. Small is her middle name, and Wright is W-R-I-G-H-T.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That book changed my life.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing. Maria, how about yourself? You'll have to unmute yourself. Oh, Maria, we can't hear you if you're speaking. Oh, maybe she fell asleep. Sharon, go ahead.
My door was red and my room was emerald green, and it had like a Zen feel, like a massage room to it. My guide was a male, maybe not elderly, but he was very vibrant, and I got that I needed more water was my number one, and movement, like exercising was the second, and the third was diet. And I sensed him laying his hands on my stomach. And I did ask him what his name, and I believe I got Daniel.
Oh, I love
Was
that.
what I got.
Okay. I love that. I really like how our guides are giving us very specific things that we should be doing too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Sharon.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Maria. I see you're there now.
Yeah, sorry, I had to leave.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yes, no, I had a hard time concentrating this time. I will listen to the replay, but I clearly got the message that I have to find a way to cope with my stress more, because that's taking a toll of my whole system. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
not let my heart and my body just deplete itself. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'd love to touch base with you, and maybe you and I could talk about that on our call that you and I have together, because I know my daughter has some really good tricks too that she uses, some really good tools that she uses, because that is a form of anxiety.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, thank you.
Cynthia, go for it. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay.
You're there.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I had a red door too, bright red, and I had a wreath of flowers on the door that were bright, but like a baby blue, powdery blue, but they were bright, and then a gold knob, and then my room was just like vapors of just like emerald green color. I couldn't see any walls or anything. It was just like I was like on a foggy morning, like just in a bunch of fog but it was green,
Right.
And then I had, which I don't understand why I get these religious figures all the time, but
That's all
I
right.
had Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene coming.
Wow.
I had two, and Mother Mary had, the veil that she normally is depicted with. She had that on, and it was a celery green, just all gems and crystals like outfit. So she was just sparkling everywhere. And then Mary Magdalene had a dress on that looked like a mermaid dress, and hers was like a darker, like forest green with like a grass green, like in a blue green, 3 different color crystals, and it was the same thing. It was just all crystals sparkling, and the message I got was I need to stop eating potato chips.
Gotta love you guys.
And then the other message I got was stick with Sandra.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm honored. Thank you, guys.
And that was it.
Two very good messages there, especially the one about the not eating chips. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm if I ever had an addiction, it's to sour cream and onion potato chips.
Oh my gosh, really? Eh? That's too funny. I love that, because that's literally in line with what the conversation was that you had the other day with me, whether it was in a class like this or not, because it was about, it was the image that you saw yourself in at the year mark. And I love here now you're getting guidance from your health guide on how to get there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Pay attention to that. So if you are really strongly attached to continuing to do this, as in eating the potato chips, what I highly recommend is weaning yourself off. Don't go cold turkey, because you'll find it easier to wean yourself off. And I speak from what's the word I'm looking for? From experience, because when I weaned myself off of power drinks like Full Throttle and that,
Mhm.
I'm actually coming up to, in a couple weeks here, I'm going to be a year of being power drink free, and it was very difficult when I went from having one a day, but you couldn't quit cold turkey when you're doing something that much. You can't. It's really difficult to quit cold turkey. So,
Mhm.
but you got this, girl.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing. Shen-Chi, would you like to share today? She's very shy, and that's all right. Okay, I'm going to end up leaving the meeting. We're going to end the meeting now. Cynthia, I'll see you over on the other Zoom. You'll have to go look on that thing. I'll tag you in there.
Okay, thanks.
Viorica, you're going to join in January. Shen-Chi, Colleen, and Maria, did you want to be joining right away, or do you want more information? Just write in the chat there real quick right now, and I'll take a look at that. Because if you're going to join today, I will send you the link today.
I can't join today.
Okay, so
I
January.
have another meeting coming up too.
Okay, so I'll put you down
Sandra,
for
could you
January.
send me more info too?
Sharon,
Next
send more info.
Thank you.
Okay,
Send me info too, please.
and you, Colleen, info. Okay, and Maria. Oh, thank you, Sheila. Take care, and send some to Maria too. Okay, perfect. Thanks, ladies. We'll see whomever else over at the other one.
Bye.
Have a
Bye.
beautiful day. Many blessings.
Yes, all to you as well. Thank you.